really goes down, stuff is really about to be the what they call it, the film on this storyline is about to start getting peeled back. And
are we gonna look back?
This is really exciting for me.
Are we gonna look back at these first like 8 episodes and be like, oh, those were the good old days? Like, you know how shows have, like, you know, we recently watched Interview with the Vampire, and you know how it had that like honeymoon phase where you're like, this is great, like this is nice. Oh. Like, we're definitely, like, chilling and just enjoying the vibes right now, and then we never look back, and it's kind of sad. Like, is that what Chainsaw Man is going to feel like?
That's what it should feel like kind of right now with the death. If you were at all invested in Himeno, these last 2 episodes, this is the beginning of that film getting peeled back, because as we saw in this episode, Himeno was no more.
Yeah.
Himeno was gone.
That was sad.
I think this is the first real death of the people that we know, right?
Yeah.
This is the first real death in the show. So that's what it took me. It took me a minute to really process that, because I was like, no, maybe she's just gonna lose her limbs and that's it. No, it
was so sad, like. But the way, like, which is why, we're going to be talking about how amazing this show is, because the animation is God tier. And Twan is not going to share any spoilers about the plot. No. But no you did tell me something about the difference between the episodes and the manga. So, like, what's the main thing that you feel like is different? Do you feel like one is better than the other? And what are the biggest differences?
So, honestly, from what we've seen so far, if we just do a hard cut, and I'm not thinking about any of the manga outside of what's by the anime right now, like where we are in the manga and where we're in the anime, I think the anime is better.
Oh, okay. Because as you know, usually manga readers are like, the manga's better.
I think it probably is better as far as maybe exposition and us getting to know the more nuanced reasons behind a lot of things. Like, one of the biggest things that I noticed immediately that we missed from the anime to the manga is there was his first interaction with a demon outside when he met Makima. Mm-hmm. His first interaction with the demon wasn't the Bat Devil or whatever. It was a devil called the Muscle Devil. Mm-hmm. And it was in control of this small little girl who, there was a dad that ran up to them, Makima and them, and was like, my daughter's just been kidnapped by this demon, and he took her into the woods. And so Makima ordered Denji to go take care of him. Right. She ordered Denji to go take care of him. And he was like, but you just offered after I eat. And she was like, I don't need a dog back. I said, let's go do that. So it was the first thing of like, damn, Makima ain't really playing around. Like, right. She really not. So he was forced to go out there and take care of it. And that was the first example of you and how deep to be manipulated, because he pretended to be this little girl whose dad was abusing her. Oh. And she ran off to get away from him. And she was like, the Muscle Devil kind of was small and chibi like Cheetah. So he was like, oh yeah, this is a Cheetah. Like, has a relationship like me. And he obviously turned on him and tried to kill him. But that was his first interaction with the demon. And it really showed you how manipulative and conniving these demons can be.
But he don't seem to mind.
Who?
Denji. He don't seem to mind, because if that happened before, did that happen after? Well, no,
that happened immediately after Makima took him.
Okay, because I was like, because then like in the show, like the first run-in he actually had with Aki was when he went to the apartment. And Aki was like transformed, and then he said no. Like, he just used the axe. He was like, it's not necessary because I lose a lot of blood. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So that happened after that, right?
That happened after that.
Yeah, but Denji doesn't seem to really mind like how manipulative the devils are. Which I wonder if that's going to be important later on. Like, I know for us, we don't understand how manipulative they are. But like, I wonder if that's just like, he just doesn't seem to care. I don't know if that's just his character or like he don't understand the scope of it.
I think it might be the scope, because there are things that... I've reached the problem with knowing the manga now, because I don't
right, because you don't want to answer it. And well, if you
Right.
can't answer it without a spoiler, they're like, just don't.
No, I think I can. It's a small version of that manipulation, right?
Mhm.
So we haven't seen the full scope yet of what these devils are capable of. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
So I think that was a good, like first experience of that on a smaller scale and him falling for it, and then maybe later we see that pay off in a larger scale. That's how I say.
Okay. I know you like trying not to give any spoilers.
Yeah. But the thing the reason I say I like the anime better than the manga is mainly for the art style and the stuff that we're seeing that's not part of the manga. Like Aki's wake up routine and that whole scene with Himeno in the beginning of this episode bringing Denji to her place. Like that was completely the illustrators going the fuck off, and they just
it's so good.
They do immersion so good, so well.
They did. I mean, I just can't imagine, like, because I always have the argument that when you're going between a reading or visual animation and like versus reading something, like there are just pacing things that you need. And I that's like always my issue with people who like complain sometimes when media is translated of like how it's not sticking exactly to it. Because from what I hear from people who like watch Bleach as well, what was it? People who've been watching Bleach is like Bleach is kind of sticking exactly to the manga, it sounds like. And I will say, because we talked about Bleach last week, right? Or the last time we had a show, we talked about it. That I feel like it's some pacing issues for me. That as a visual, like watching it, visually is kind of like problematic for me. Because it's taking me out of it. Because it's so choppy. It feels like I'm watching a manga. Like, and I don't know if that's what I want. Like when I'm watching something. It feels like it's just stuff just happening. And it kind of feels like outside of animating the fights and stuff that I am just watching manga panels. If that makes sense. But I really appreciate that Chainsaw Man or Mappa or whoever decided to add these extra things had the mindset of like, we need to give them a little bit more so that their brains can like process what they're seeing.
I agree. And that I think is just watching these at the same time gives you that comparison, right? We're watching kind of just unleash on us, whether it's fight after fight or just I don't feel like they're taking the time like we have Kurosaki and Orihime and Chaz and shit for a little bit. We have those small scenes, but it's nothing compared to what we're getting with Chainsaw Man.
Right.
That entrance of her kicking the door open, falling to the ground with Denji, and he still knocked the hell out from being drunk. Her getting him back up into the bed, taking his shoes, stumbling to the bathroom. That is my experience getting home.
Yes.
Like, I was living out that whole scene with her, and I've been like, that's been me. You sloppily go to the bathroom, you look in the mirror, you just make stupid faces.
It was like when you're like drunk. It was so.
It was the whole experience.
It was so immersive.
And then, what she did, she went to the bathroom, she took a shower, and in that drunk shower, forgot she brought Denji home. Went to the went to the refrigerator, got another beer, and then went in here like, who are you in my bed?
Want to do it?
Did I do that? Right.
She like immediately.
I just love that.
Want to do it?
But knowing that she disappears at the end of this episode, it shows like what that can do for an anime, because she's only been on screen for 3 episodes, y'all. And as far as me, I'm only gonna speak for myself. I even said it after on that Eternity Devil episode. I'm so interested in Himeno's character now. Like I was like seeing her backstory, seeing her relationship with Aki, seeing how she was brought up with her master, talking about how she had to be, crazy, and she's a little too sane to really make it. Yeah. And we see that come true. Like they are doing so good making me invested in these characters
that you only get like a little bit of screen time, because I always harp on the fact that like these episodes are like 18 minutes of content. So
I mean, keep bringing that up too.
I'm just saying,
I be forgetting sometimes.
Cause like, so we probably only had, but I mean, they proved that they're able to do that in the first episode. Cause like, I remember like showing my reaction to it and being like, damn, I've only been watching this show like 10 minutes and I like already feel a way about when Pochita died or when Denji even died. Like I was already like kind of invested in him. So I mean, they've obviously shown. Why do you think they're able to do that so well? Like, what is it about them that they're able to do that so well?
I mean, keep in mind, it is some aggressive situations, and I think it really hits home with people that have a natural sympathy to them or the power to empathize with people. And so this child is going through this. I mean, his dad just died. He's now responsible for millions and trillions of dollars in debt, and he has to do it by the next day or he's going to get chopped up into little pieces. That's a tough thing for a child to process and act on.
You don't act like a child either. So.
What'd you say?
I said he don't really, to me, like Denji is so traumatized that he's just not normal in any sense of the word. Like his processing of things, his awareness of being in danger, like none of that stuff processes well for him. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But I wasn't expecting to have a reaction, just like I wasn't expecting to have a reaction to when Denji, died in the first episode. I did not expect to feel any kind of way when she died. The one thing I will say about Chainsaw Man is like they don't care about our feelings. Like I could already feel that they're disrespectful because if this was a shonen, which we know if this was a shonen, when she did that for Aki, it would have worked. Like
wow, like you want to know? I'm about to show you some proof of how good the manga is. You just mentioned them not caring about our feelings, and I instantly thought about something that I saw later on. Do you see my eyes?
Yes.
Remembering.
Oh my God.
Happening.
I don't want to watch this.
Oh my God, I'm actually crying again.
Jesus, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch this now. No.
When I tell you I cried real tears reading this manga, and just now thinking about the panel got me, I've never cried about thinking about a manga.
It broke you, huh? I'm scared. Oh no, I can't.
Good.
Now I'm scared. Let me start watching it now. Let me start watching it.
Oh my God.
I'm legit scared now. Like
somebody clip that because I gotta put it on my TikTok. I really just cried thinking about a manga panel.
Chainsaw Man traumatized you. I'm scared. I do want to play, just to kind of, I want to play some of these more like these aesthetic. Y'all know I love aesthetics. I love me and my daughter have an equal love of like little gifs of just like, I think when I was putting together, I didn't realize how much I love these little moments until we did our 90s anime aesthetic show and we were talking about things we missed about it. And I was looking for some gifs for just like background stuff and like just like gifs of, I know it's bad because smoking is bad, don't smoke, kids, but like gifs of people like taking cigarettes out of a pack or like opening a fridge and like getting water out of it, taking a sip of like anime style aesthetic gifs are like my thing, right? So that's like
thing, right?
That's my thing. Like, so when I saw the episode with Aki's day, his like morning routine, that is like porn for me, guys. Like it was beautiful. So I was gonna pull it up on a screen share of Aki's morning routine while we kind of talk about it. These moments we get. So do you think these moments will ultimately make it more emotional? Because you're like, okay, I just read it and I was emotional. Do you think them giving us these moments to connect with these characters before they do terrible things to them is going to make it worse? I'm
not prepared. Even though I know what's going to happen now, I'm still not prepared for how they're going to make, like, because they understand the reaction that these readers have had while they were reading this live. Right. So now I see how they're already making you more. They're letting you know these characters in a way that you didn't get in the manga. Like,
you can't see this. Sorry, I'm gonna share my screen.
Oh no, you good, girl.
Yeah,
but Aki's routine for me, that tells me a lot about somebody, like just how they live their life in their space that is their own. Like that's the same way I get to know about somebody that I'm living with, my roommate. I see how you interact in the space where you feel comfortable, and seeing Aki just so peaceful, getting up, making coffee, brushing his teeth, right, doing his laundry, and that just seems place like it made me not think of him in any kind of a devilish way, because even with these characters, you never know evil at the end of the day, but it gives you the security that he's like a good person and all this type of stuff. You don't get that in the I mean, in the manga, yes,
Yeah.
you get elements of that, but just not in this way. I like how they're getting across to us.
That he's just like
Same thing
outside
with
of his
Himeno.
demeanor, he's kind of just like a normal person. I'm playing it in the background while we talk, so I share my screen so you can see it playing.
Yeah, just the
he's
breeze.
it's just like you could feel the breeze. Like I could feel it. Like Aki in the morning is me. Okay, let's like it's
And he's
just
so
beautiful.
cute. He's so
Yes,
cute. I
I
love
like seeing.
Aki.
Like, look at that. Did y'all see that detail on that toothpaste?
The way the tail of the toothpaste just fell to the side.
This is like porn. This is
Grinding
visual
up your
art porn
coffee.
right here.
And then it's just that this is how people that really do coffee make their coffee, baby. Like
Yes,
they
he
do
does the
the
drip.
clockwise motions, so all of it gets saturated. It's
And
even.
these balcony scenes, they be putting their foot in these balcony scenes.
And I do like seeing, and that's another thing too, like seeing the type of apartments they got, because Himeno's apartment is lit. I love Himeno's apartment.
I didn't even really
girl.
this scene right,
got.
that one right there, like him lighting a cigarette, and you can see like all of his like bones.
Oh, wait, dude, can you go back on that one?
Mm-hmm. Anime characters
wanna,
putting their
was,
hair in the ponytail is like a thing for me. Okay, it's a thing. I'm into it.
I
We
like
just
seeing,
gonna
I
roll
like
it
seeing
back. We just
anime
gonna
hair
go
that
back.
moves.
Yeah, we just gonna go back. There's a
I like
show.
seeing anime hair that fully gives into the motion, you know?
Yes, because it usually looks so stiff, like when you look at it, but then you have these moments where you're like, oh, it is like strands of hair. Like, why did the window like move? Did I move it? Is it because I moved it?
No. It's just that red line there
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
It was centered. It was centered. Like, I mean, the actual video itself, because then we're not getting like the top of the frame. Like, I don't know. YouTube be doing weird stuff. Yeah, I'm like, we missing like the whole other side. I'm like, hold on, we gotta get all of it now. Okay, that's good enough, right?
Yeah, that's
All right,
good.
we got the whole frame. Okay. But yeah, I love seeing like little details like that.
But I can see how some people, not everybody appreciates the same things in anime, and I can't tell you. So some people that are gung ho action, I've been taking in my shonen. I guess, see how people would be a little irritated at, or like could view this in a way of, keep in mind these are not my, but I can see the correlation. You know how.
Wait, you're cutting
5,
in and out.
7.
Why are you cutting in and out? Your voice is doing that thing. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Papa, can you hear me?
I can. I think it might be a mic thing. Like when it has a noise gate, it cut off if your voice changed at any level. But go ahead.
Can you? How about now?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, I was saying that this is, I could see it being received like back in the day with Dragon Ball Z, had in 7 minutes watching grass blow.
Yeah.
To get to the fight, So I could see some people being like, "Why I got putting his hair in a ponytail? What that doing for me?" That I can't. I guess I get it, but for me, who I just talent and seeing this type of stuff, like I don't know, it just gives me goosebumps because maybe it's from an aspect of I know I'll never be able to do. So I'm just like oohs and ahs.
Yes, the tech guys are
10.
not pleased today, Rashawn. I don't know what's wrong with all my tech today. Like it's giving Mercury in retrograde tech problems. Like I think it might be one. I don't know. But yes, that like his morning routine is me. Like even to the point of like vacuuming.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the morning after you make your coffee, like with your drip or your French press, like. But yes, I do agree. I think Dragon Ball Z could use those moments instead of us just watching Goku standing in a breeze for episodes. Like I would prefer to see like these moments. And I think we did talk about that. I don't know what anime we were talking about that. Like Bleach. I think I was saying that with Bleach. Like it could use just a little bit. Like, but I think with
a little slice of life injection. Yeah,
because like it usually does a humor injection. But the brand of humor that it has is more like slapstick, like,
it's very, because there's like 2 lieutenants in Bleach that we never really see anything from. They're lieutenants,
right?
Go take 13, but they do literally nothing, like you said, slapstick. Chuck.
Yeah, like Donda Chaka and what's the other one name?
Oh yeah, Donda and Pesce or something.
Yeah, like they're just
Yeah.
comic relief, and it's so annoying to me. I would much rather just see like Ichigo playing the game, like in a dark room, you know, or something. Like I would much rather see that. Like I would rather see him just being at home, chilling, playing some PlayStation, and like getting a call from the Soul Society.
Which he has.
He has
a PS5.
Right. We know Ichigo has a PS5. So like if you're gonna go through the trouble of putting that in his background, like Ichigo owns a PlayStation 5. Okay, can we, you know, instead of it being like slapstick comedy, the Soul Society's calling. Like, I'd rather just have this little moment of like Ichigo just chilling at the house, drinking an energy drink, gaming, you know, or something like that.
All of a sudden, that's when his little Shinigami badge would be going off. And
yeah,
look
like
at it, be like, oh my god, like actually react to it or something.
Yeah, like
I his personality. But I think that's what it is. We learn Ichigo through his choices,
right?
Not his actual like being. We see him react to saving people because he has to react. We react to him. You know, we see him reacting, which tells us about his personality more so than just.
Why did you cut out? Say something.
Damn, man.
Yeah, we haven't had this problem
right.
We haven't had this problem in a minute. Like since that one time, your mic kind of was doing this that one time, and then it never did it again. So I don't know. I know it's not.
Don't be knowing what to do.
I know it's not a you thing. You got a fan. You don't have a fan in the back, do you?
Oh wait, maybe that might be it. I do have my fan.
But don't you always have a fan on?
I usually do, but I mean, if it's going to maybe.
Well, we thought last time that's what it was, but it wasn't. So.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to go cut it off and we're just going to see.
Yeah, so you're going to be in there sweating. You know what I mean?
Listen, sacrifices we make.
I'm going to pull up this other video of Denji and Makima talking while Twan sees if his fan is causing his mic to go in and out. Sometimes these mics have noise gates on them, and if it starts to perceive that there's like a noise in the back, it'll start to like cut it out to try to. It'll cut your voice out to try to cut that sound out. So maybe that could be it, but also it could possibly not be it. So we just gonna have to see if that's what it is.
We don't see. I just cut it off.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm over it. But we're gonna press through. We're gonna persevere, because it's like when we really get into fangirl, and that's when the sound want to be cutting out. Like, let us fangirl in peace. So I'm gonna have this conversation between Makima and Denji playing in the background, which is just another moment where we were talking about, I think the other week, where we were kind of drooling ourselves when she was like telling him, "Whew, child, this scene right here." Okay.
Makima, when I tell you this girl knows how to present a story and image, she needs to lead guided meditation. She really does.
Guided meditation.
I am the gayest of gay men. I appreciate the form of, but when I think about my life, it is with someone of the same sex. But Makima over here.
Yeah, this scene with the like holding hands, like this feels like have you ever stumbled across there's a lady on TikTok who talks about fetish content?
Mm-hmm.
Like Chainsaw Man feels like it's like fetish, like the animated series, like these, like is this fetish content? Because it's making me tingle. I don't know why. Why is this watching people smoke cigarettes and like I don't know. When she touched his ear, I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, that ear caress that took me to another place. Even this, like with her talking, thumb in her mouth.
Yeah,
you know, like I tell about that. I know what that feels like.
Yeah, you just be like,
so well. Like I'm immersed. I feel like I'm interrupted. I feel like I'm a fly on the wall.
Yeah,
to be here. I'm hearing something that's just too much for my childlike ears.
That's what I'm saying. Know? Like, oh, and then they just had so many good ones.
Sorry, that's just another thing that adds to the character that is Makima. Why do you have an answer for everything? Why are you good at calming me? Like, it's to the point. It's the same way I feel about Sam Reed
yes.
and Lestat.
Yes.
Because, like, I understand that your character is this charismatic character that has to be able to manipulate people and has to be able to do all this, but it's one thing telling us this is what the character does
Right.
versus seeing them do it. Because Lestat did that to me in the poker game, and Makima just did that to me in this scene with Denji. Like, I will go kill the gun devil for Makima.
They show not to. And I think so many anime are not good at that. So let's play this one. This was also another highlight moment that we were talking about earlier. But yeah, they do such a good job, like you said, of showing, not telling. It would be, I'm like, actually, like, it would be so sad if we didn't have these moments. Because I'm just thinking, like, Himeno dying wouldn't have felt the same. Because my crazy ass wouldn't even remember who she was. I'd be like, who's that? That, like, I'm definitely that person. Like, who was that? Wait, was that the girl? You know, they all be looking alike too. So I'm like, I don't know. I'd be not really noticing her. So, but them pausing and giving us these moments with her definitely helped. Like this scene right here, like I be feeling weird when I watch Chainsaw Man. Like these scenes give me the tinglies. Like how beautifully they're animated. And the one thing I love about Himeno's character design is it's giving Major from like Ghost in the Shell for me. And we were just complaining about like how mature or older anime women look the same as the younger ones in a lot of anime now. And she definitely looks like an adult.
Grown woman. That's a grown woman.
She's a grown woman.
And when this scene originally played, we was on live, right? And like all I could think about was you and your most of your Josai, or it's just like I don't want to see these long drawn out relationships lead into a confession at the very end.
Right.
I want adult themes. I want to feel like, I want to see what I go through in relationship anime. Right. Even though this is silly. This is relatable. Yeah. I mean, it's not relatable taking a 16-year-old home
no, that part is not relatable.
But her relationship with alcohol.
Yeah, her relationship with alcohol and her just kind of like doing stuff and kind of just being out of it.
Right.
It's definitely
that's so cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad they didn't do anything. I was actually really proud of our baby Denji for saying he wanted to wait. We not playing that kiss at the bar. But I do want to talk about that bar scene because the other thing that Mappa's really putting a whole foot in it, because there's tension in some of these scenes before you ever know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like you be like, I just feel it, like the bar scene. I definitely had that feeling of like if you've seen good directing and like everybody's kind of at the dinner and there's like all these side conversations and there's just stuff going on and you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like it felt that way.
Attack on Titan ruined me. The fact that all this stuff is going on and you see Reiner and Braun at the top of the wall, just having it. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I've been doing good, y'all. I'm a little.
It's okay.
But Chainsaw Man has had me so excited. I'm fighting through it. But them having that conversation on the top of the wall, and then everybody, Mikasa and them having their own conversations, and you just hear Ryan give this big bomb drop of a reveal while you kind of paying attention to other stuff going on.
Yeah, you just like.
Bro, ever since that scene, like I'm the same as you. Like I feel like there's something going on in the background, like. And
I wasn't ready for that.
It's gonna turn into a demon.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. I was like, is a demon finna come crash the party? Like I had all kind of terrible things in my mind that was gonna happen, but I wasn't guessing
really
it.
Happened is barf kiss. I can't say all because that was traumatizing.
That was traumatizing, and even for Denji, nasty ass.
Seeing him swallow it, they didn't have to do the swallow part.
See, the swallow is where it really got me.
They didn't have to make him swallow.
Why he swallow it?
even though disgusting Power had me cracking up. I love Power so much. But she was just cackling like this is gonna be bad because he'll swallow anything with nutritional value.
But why he swallow it though? Like why you didn't spit it out? He said that's the only part. That's the only part you've seen of the show. Critical. You owe it to yourself to watch the rest. I mean, if you've already seen that, you gotta go ahead and just you need to watch it. Why he swallow it, Twan?
Because he swallowed it because like Powers, she's not lying. He legitimately programmed to not waste food, to like he will eat fingernail clippings. Oh, that's another thing that they show.
He eat fingernail clippings?
He eats anything with nutritional value. There's at the end of every manga panel, there's some things that I love. At the end of every chapter, depending on what the context of the show is, Puccini has a little anime of him. Like, let's say Denji just got cut up into a billion pieces like he did in the dumpster. The last panel will have Pochita like smiling but cut up into a million pieces. Or let's say Denji had some, I'm making this up, but Denji had some of his another kiss with the love of his life. I made that up. Not
right.
It would have Puchita like kissing a mirror or something, you know, like he would have cute little moments like that. But also they would do these things where they would drop little tidbits about the characters. And one of them was a little extra comic strip of Denji asking Aki for a bunch of his stuff because he's not going to eat it. So he's like, let me have the crust on your sandwich. Like, why are you wasting that? And then there'll be another one like, let me have your fingernail clippings because there's nutritional value in it. Pulled off a scab one day in the bathroom and she came in and asked to eat it.
He is just nasty. Or he just that poor.
Like, we don't get that deep of what he will do.
That's what I'm about to say, because I feel like eventually we're basically and I did forget to mention that I did get my payoff about the blood thing. That you just made me think about that. Because I was like, it seemed like it's going to come back. Yeah, I was like, it seems like it's going to come back, but he's going to realize he could just because when he went down there, he just went crazy. Like,
and the eternity demon?
Yeah.
No, devil. We keep saying demon. I keep saying demon.
I know, a devil, demon. And aren't there fiends too?
So that's the thing. Devils are... Oh, I get to actually... I know.
Yeah, because I'll be like confused. I'll be like, what is this?
So devils are the actual original entity. The devils, they don't really ever die. You know, once a devil is defeated, it kind of just gets reborn in a sense. But after however long set time frame on that.
Okay.
But a fiend is somebody that's taken over by a devil.
Okay, so is Denji a fiend?
Denji is a fiend, essentially. Okay. Because
Power is a
taken
fiend.
over by it. Power is the devil.
I thought she called her a fiend.
Oh wait, no, she is a fiend. She is a fiend because she's taken over. Yeah, you're right. She is a fiend.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. She's not her original. That's not what she looked like as an actual devil.
Right.
And then there are devils, fiends, and then there's one more.
There's another one? Because I feel like I've only heard devils and fiends.
Oh, devil, fiends, and then hybrids.
Oh, so what's the hybrid?
So a hybrid, I think the hybrid is something that's taken over. So a hybrid would be Chainsaw, like Denji. A fiend, I feel like, is just like you saw in that first episode when he attacked that man with the axe.
Right.
That's a fiend.
Okay. That man was a fiend.
Yeah, that man was a fiend, and somebody like Chainsawman who is replaced with the demon, I think, those are hybrids.
Okay. That makes sense.
So you saw the man that and I think the easiest way to tell the hybrids is like you saw the man that we saw in this last episode that attacked them while they were eating ramen.
Who attacked them while they were eating? Yes. Yeah.
And you notice how he had swords and stuff in like the same place as Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, he did. Sorry.
So like I think he has a very similar situation as Denji as far as his relation.
Yeah, I noticed
like
that.
How they were. Yeah. So that was the first time we really get to that. Like I don't know if they fully. I can't remember because this comes from those excerpts at the end of the manga. To be honest,
are we gonna get more information on that person?
That's why I think, and that's why I'm excited because I don't think they're gonna let this fall to the wayside with the way they've been doing this. I feel like they're gonna get maybe in different ways than how they this exhibition. I think they're gonna get it out in a slightly different, which I'm excited to see how they do it because, like I said, a lot of information has been outside of the actual manga,
right?
Paragraphs and stuff. So I think they'll use that to animate new things for the anime.
I think I figured out why you're.
So
I think it's me. I don't think so. I think it's my computer, like processing. Like if I pull up clips, It kind of does it. So we'll see. I'm gonna play this and then I'm gonna see if that kind of is what it is. I'm gonna play that scene where her and Denji were just like outside talking on the balcony.
Eating them delicious crustless
sandwiches. Which nobody like really clipped that section. Like when I was on YouTube finding like clips of these moments, like I don't know, do people like not like Himeno?
I remember after reading the manga and doing like some searches through the forums, I never really even saw anybody raise a complaint like I did about him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody doesn't like that. I think a lot of people hate Kobeni.
Oh, okay.
They can't stand Kobeni, but I don't really see hate for him enough.
Maybe it just didn't register as like an amazing scene for some people, but I loved it.
I guess.
But I don't think my computer is gonna be able to process. My computer is like, nope. It's one of them days.
Questions.
Yeah.
There was a couple questions I had for you about the last episode and how you took it.
Yeah, go ahead. And Rashawn did say there's more kink. The vomit scene. He thinks it's more kink.
Yeah. And
this show is so kinky. I am curious to see, before you ask the question, I am curious to see if it's going to come into play in some way, because part of me feels like Chainsaw Man is definitely trying to create this air and energy of immersion into like the crazy world that they're in. And so I do even say, I hope, but you know how anime is. It's anime, so I'm not going to give it too much credit because we know anime is full on in the kink for no reason other than it's Tuesday. But I do wonder if some of it is an immersion effect, or like if, I don't know. That's probably just me putting my own like deep spin on it that I see in some anime. So that's a theme that I'm very passionate about. Like when you have beings that like murder and love blood and love killing, that a lot of time eroticism for them is the same as murder. And like how a lot of the times those two feelings are like the same. So like you see that in Beastars a lot, because people say like Beastars is very homoerotic and stuff, or like these creatures, when they talk about eating something, it's like sexual in nature. But it's like, well, if you're,
this is with the fox and the bunny, right?
Yeah, and it's like, well, if you're an apex predator and like you like you know those it would be the same for you. Because like he struggles with like, every time I want to sleep with you, I kind of want to eat you. Yeah. And like how those feelings are so intertwined, which is like what I say about Lestat. And like people say he was hunting Louis. I'm like, well, hunting and arousal and eroticism is kind of like when you
just go hand in hand with
feed on these smaller beings, like it's kind of all the same. So it's almost like, as a vampire, can you actually love somebody without harming them? It's like, I don't know.
Oh, that's
something
that's a really good point.
Yeah, that's like something I'm really like into. So I do wonder if all the kink in some ways in this world is related, because you're intertwined with, you're in this room full of people who are basically mixed with devils. Or have some contract or have some part of them that's like controlled by devils. And that's going to make you different. Like everything is kind of highly sexual in that realm. But sexuality to them isn't like what it is for us. So I don't know. That's kind of why it makes sense.
I think that definitely might go hand in hand with the devils, I think, specifically. Yeah. I don't know 100% about the fiends, to be honest with you.
Right.
I mean, not the fiends, but the hybrids. Maybe so the devils because they have a huge...
Yeah.
What is it? They're being manipulated by the devil, that type of thing, you know?
Right, because they're like in this contract, right?
Right, but
generally
with just straight up contracts with devils, I kind of don't agree with that, just because they're... You do got to be a certain level of crazy to sacrifice your pieces of your body and your organs and all that type of stuff. But I don't think there's any part of me that feels like that influences how they interact in that sexual type of a way.
No,
you know, like Himeno, I just feel like she's a crazy drunk and she is just a sexual person in general.
Well, you know? I think with the overtly sexual stuff, but the show in general has this undertone of like everything is kind of like highly like sensitive. Like when you're watching the show, the best way I could explain it is you feel like the show is in a highly aroused state. Like,
but is that just us telling ourselves though?
No, like it feels like, you know how like when you're super
The only reason I say ask is it's like telling on ourselves, because that scene of them on the balcony eating sandwich, I feel like there's nothing sexual about him telling her that he finds her disgusting with the puke. And
no, like it's not sexual. No, like an aroused state, like on edge, or like
I felt like my body was being pricked.
That's what I'm saying.
During that, even though there was no sexual talk there.
Right, like as a viewer, I think they've immersed you into this highly on edge state, which is arousal. Like when you're aroused, somebody could just touch you and it's like, ooh. Or like when you're nervous. Like I feel like as a viewer, I feel like I'm constantly in that state. Now, whether it's arousal or nervousness, they're both very heightened states. Like where you're very sensitive and like on edge. Like I feel like they're putting us in that state. So like everything either feels super like, is this sexual or is it me? Or it's like, I'm really anxious. Why am I anxious?
Agree with that.
Like I'm always in this like place when I'm watching Chainsawman, and I'm like, I think maybe that's on purpose. Like,
I definitely think that's their intention. I feel like they want to have you the screen play at all times. I think that's why the animation at all. You know, they keep us on the edge of our seats, whether it be just drawing us in a tender moment, making us not talk because we don't want to miss nothing. We don't want to blink because we want to catch everything that's going on. Yeah. And they just do that in so many different ways. It's just like really amazing angles and, you know, getting real creative with the fights themselves. Seeing these crazy different attacks and how they like I wasn't expecting Himeno to give herself complete ghost way. And I
felt like this. I felt it, but even the way they animated it, it was like.
That was the first time in the anime that I wanted to actual cry. Yeah. Because when she reached out and then
her arm.
Then she reached out and lost the other arm and Aki for a minute, but then when
oh wait, you're cutting out. Come back.
Hello.
Okay, yeah. Maybe turn. Okay. Have you ever tried to turn your mic? You have a boom arm?
I can't. Like, turn like what? Like this, up and down?
Yeah, like how mine is. You have enough pivoted. Oh, okay. I'm
gonna play around with that next time, but I'm gonna just try to.
Because I do wonder, because I see when you like lean forward, it kind of like cuts out. So I don't know if it's like the which setting you have on, or if you need to do the omnidirectional maybe. I don't know. It's probably none of that.
The one that looked like a Venn diagram.
You do?
Diagram with the circles.
You got the Venn diagram?
They do this.
You should have a little Pac-Man one on. You ain't got the Pac-Man one on?
Oh, I do got the Pac-Man.
Is it on Pac-Man?
Okay, how about that? It's on Pac-Man now.
Okay, we'll try. Because what it could be is that's like the two sides. So like if me and you were there, it would be picking up one side and the other side.
That's why I had it, because I feel like it was stronger here on the Pac-Man one. And that's normally how I sit. So I was like, maybe it'll pick me up better.
But I think it cuts out in the middle space so that the two voices don't cross over. So that's probably why it was cutting out, because it's dead zone right here. Thank you for the follow.
You can hear me successfully now, though.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it might be that. Two Chopsticks says sensual was the word we're looking for.
There you go. Thank you. It did feel very sensual. Everything in this show, when taken slowly, feels sensual, because I'm taking it back when I get these good animated scenes. It does something in my body.
It does. I thought it was just me, because I'm just a nerd for like good animation and certain visual arts and like taking different angles.
Girl.
Yeah, and lighting. I'm a lighting, like, I don't know. Can you have a lighting kink? Because I feel like I do.
I feel like that's out there. There's going to be a word for that, too. Let me find it.
Shout out to Amoxicillin Blurs supporting Blurs. Thank you for the follow and supporting us. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have a visual art lighting kink. Like uplighting, I think is the one I like. I'm really into uplighting. So, like, you know, I like aesthetic lighting. So I know you had a question, too. So I wanted you to make sure you...
No, I was trying to think of what I was going to say before the question, but I forgot where I was on. But anyway, the question was, how did you feel about the whole Makima situation? Because So what happened to Makima?
What happened to my? Oh, she got shot. Well,
Her and that nigga.
her and Denji got shot too.
Oh yeah, Denji did get shot in the head.
So
I forgot about that.
So Denji getting shot. Me knowing that they're not human, I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned. Because we've seen Denji come back from the dead, and we know that he has poached his heart. So I would feel like you would have to kill the heart to kill the being once they're in that kind of contract. So I'm not too concerned because I feel like the one thing I don't know is if I'm as a viewer supposed to believe at this point that Makima's human. I don't know if I'm supposed to believe that because I never have because of her eyes. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like, oh my God, they killed Makima. Because like for me, it's just clear she's not human. So I'm not too concerned.
Did it catch you off guard at all?
It definitely caught me off guard because we were in the middle of another very aesthetic as fuck scene, which is the Makima on this train with this guy just kind of chilling, looking out the window, relaxing. We were in the middle of this very aesthetic scene. So like,
she was actually reflecting on the night prior about the drinks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those drinks was really nice.
Yeah.
I hate going to talk to these board members because they are intimidating, which I was just like, are they? I got
right.
board members.
But now I'm kind of like, I'm also like kind of concerned now because I'm like, is this where we're going into? Like, are we just going to be interrupting aesthetic moments? Because I need those. Okay. I don't like that.
Be on edge every time I'm into this amazing space.
Right. Moxicilla said, am I here in time for the Himeno slander? I don't know why people wouldn't like Himeno slander. I don't see why she got drunk and did some dumb stuff. Like, I don't know. That's why I saw that Japan hates Himeno, but I don't know why.
I was ready to drag Himeno before the balcony scene because I was just like, you really about to get out here and molest this 16-year-old child as a 23-year-old woman.
And this is the conversation. Well, she did say like I was gonna get
she fully go ahead.
They're gonna take me to jail. So you know, but I mean,
and I think on top of that, she also we got the exposition of her just being an absolute drunk. She's making out with everybody when she's Keys have not had her lips on them, but I feel like she was so drunk.
She was very drunk
that she forgot that she even floor with this man, all this other stuff. So she's beyond belligerent. She just went for all of that.
Why you couldn't?
You know,
you couldn't down again.
Oh my God. Anyway, can y'all hear me now?
Do you have a webcam camera?
I do have a webcam.
Or your headset. Right, switch over to your headset and see if it stops.
The headset is.
Oh, it's not plugged in. Switch over to a different to a different camera. To a different mic. I want to see if it's your mic thing. I think we did this last time.
That's gonna be we did. That's gonna be
She's got to do some work to move
the
up.
Output, right?
On Discord. Hold on, let me see. Because I don't be knowing. The microphone is the input. It's the input device, not output. You probably got like 5 things on there. Input mode. Oh wait.
I into the actual computer. Hold on.
Oh, okay. She got to do some work. I mean, that's the thing I see about it. Yes, it's inappropriate. She acknowledged that it's inappropriate, but Denji is around grown adults as well. Like, for me, I don't get so outraged about. Yeah, I can hear you. It's just low. Let me see.
Okay. Now this is my microphone.
Oh, okay. I think it's still doing it, so it might be my processor thing.
Because you can still hear me now, right?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, my microphone's off here, so this is good.
It's just really low, yeah.
And I don't know.
I don't think you can turn it up. Yeah.
No, it's at its max right now.
Ooh, these mics be so different. He's real low, yeah. I just wanted to see if it was cutting in and out, if he used a different mic. Because then if it was, that meant that is his mic. And that's what I was trying to get an idea of. So, but yeah, that one's not cutting in and out. So I don't know. It might be your mic, but whatever. We just gonna keep going. Go ahead with the good mic. But I just
blah blah blah.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. But no, what I was saying was, I know everybody's like, some people feel a way about her, but I'm like, the reality for me, if I've seen this in real life, I don't really get caught up. Because for me, something like Chainsawman, I don't need my world to be perfect. I don't need everybody to have good morals. I don't expect everybody to have good morals. And so because this is a phenomenon I've seen in real life, it doesn't bother me. If that makes sense. Not to say I support it, but this is Chainsawman. Everybody doesn't have good morals. They make deals with devils. They sink low. So a woman getting shit-faced drunk and sleeping with a coworker who is underage, I'm like, yeah, that's some shit. Not some shit I would do, but it's some shit. Yeah, people do it. Like, people do that. Like, this is a 16-year-old boy who's, first of all, his job is really inappropriate for his age. So, like, if we were really gonna get on, what is this 16-year-old doing working with these people killing devils where he could die? Okay, child labor laws, all this shit. So we already in the realm of this man he is not supposed to be here at all. Okay, then you put him in
He's already a slave. Let's go ahead and...
He's a slave. And so he's at very high risk. If he was a child and we were looking at him as he's in high risk of being exploited. He's in high risk of being abused. Like, he's in very compromising situations. He's around adults who are drinking. He's drinking. You know, like, if I hadn't seen those dynamics in real life and know that foolishness happens in those environments, which is why you keep your kids from those environments, I would be more outraged. So, like, for me, it's a 16-year-old boy. She's a high older woman. This is also things that I hear guys say. Like, I just feel like this would happen. Like, in this group of people, this would happen. Like, and she didn't remember. So it's like, I don't know. For me, that's what keeps me from being like, oh my God. Like, yeah, it's
and I
shitty.
like that there's depth outside of just that one moment. Like, if this was her whole personality, if she was just some lolly ass character who was just out here sleeping underage,
yeah,
but there's depth to her characters. There's motivations, like seeing her relationship with previous partners and the reaction of her. Like, that was something too that like was really telling about her personality, because all these partners that has died on her, their partners come and take it out on her because they can't take it out on themselves. And that was just like, damn, like, and she really just puts up with it because she knows how that hurt.
Yeah.
Wants to be that release for somebody, but she doesn't ever get that. And that was like, damn, like, I really am into this character.
So I guess even the audience, like, not liking her and piling up on her and hating her is kind of like realistic. Like, that's kind of her fate.
So what is the hate going on? Is it because of the whole Denji thing? Is it something deeper? What is the hate for Himeno?
Amoxicillin definitely is saying because of that, like, her hitting on on Denji as an underage person. I think across the board, that's kind of like what I see people just hate. And like, I get that, because we don't play about that over here. We don't do lollies and like 1,000-year-old demons looking like 12-year-old girls and like all that stuff. We definitely don't fuck with those visuals over here. But we gonna say Denji a baby, but like, so we not mad at Makima though?
Yeah, who?
Makima.
Oh, yeah. We don't even know how old that one is.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing, but it's like, Denji's been in here. He's highly sexual. He only is looking like this is his motivation for life at this point.
His motivation in life. You are absolutely right.
So, like,
gotta take into consideration
Denji being in the bedroom with the 23-year-old woman, like, we finna smash, seems like, even though he opted out, which thank God. But like, even though Denji's 16 and he's 23, if he didn't say like, Denji smashing her would just not be out of the realm of possibility. He woke up so confused. Yeah, they was both drunk. I'm just glad they didn't do it, but unfortunately.
Because that would be a little slightly different for me too. That's the main catalyst for me still fucking with Himeno because she didn't go through with it. I feel like she acknowledged how bad it would have been for her. You know, she was kind of, I feel like, happy he didn't do it too. So
in the anime,
it is, but you know.
They're saying, okay, so Makima said at least in the anime, she carried his body home. She feel better if he walk, taking a passed out Meyer home. Yeah, it was definitely predatory.
Yeah, up and down.
It's predatory behavior.
Sugarcoat nap for me. Yeah, absolutely.
So no, she wouldn't be my favorite character, but once again, people do predatory shit in certain environments, and like this is Chainsaw Man. So once again, I mean the show came
me up when she went.
Yeah, the show came out with him to he sold his balls for money. So I'm like, okay, this what we doing? All right, this is the world we're in. Like people exploit.
That's what I was saying about that specific scene of Himeno dying was, you know, they did such a good job animating that because like her arm appeared, you know, her other arm disappeared, but then it cut, and the scene where her legs was disappearing was everything to me. Like her standing up on that leg, then it disappearing, and her hair, the movement, the animation in that scene was crazy. And then she stood back up, and then the other one disappeared, and then she fell down. She was,
and then it was just her torso. Like, oh, that scene for me was very impactful. Like when she was just on her torso, and she's like looking up and like. Just like this, her trying to reach out and run to him and just having her limbs snatched from her. Like,
it seems like that make me just want to erase anything bad I've seen in the back because I can't watch that and not feel. Like, I just can't.
But isn't that the goal? Like, because me and you, we're going at it with the interview with the Vampire Girls at this very moment. I think that's what, now there are certain people you're not going to get me to empathize with. I'm never going to empathize with Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm not going to empathize with anybody who say they like to, you can't make me empathize with certain people. Like when it comes to the babies, which is why for me, I don't have to empathize with him, to understand that she fucked up. But then also that's fucked up way to go. Like, I just remember after that scene, like I was thinking about like, damn, like it was so impactful that I thought about the condition of her soul when she died. Like in the middle of an anime, I was just like, oh
my God.
What happens to her soul now? Because it was just so creepy. And like Amoxicillin is saying, like she is broken. And so for her to die kind of in that way, like, oh, that just seemed perfect. Like it was so poetic to me. Like a broken person just dying, like limb by limb.
Now you got me thinking about it. Oh my God.
I don't know. It's just
so like, where's she at right now?
That's what I be wondering, because they're making these pacts with this devil, and that's not part of the world building that they've done here. Yeah. Like the devil's side.
Actually, like I don't think that's ever. I hope that's not a spoiler. Spoiler alert.
No.
I don't think they ever explain what happened to people that make contracts with devils. Like in Death Note, they tell you straight up, you can never go to heaven, but you also can never go to hell if you write in a Death Note. So it's like, okay, so did they become Shinigami themselves? Did they go to y'all world? Like he said it's a fate that's worse than that.
Yeah.
Like going to hell or whatever. So I'm just like, oh my God.
Right. Hope you like walking. And that's what I also appreciate about Chainsaw Man, because you're just basically seeing the effect that these devils have on the human world and like how these humans have contracts with them. But like me being me, I'm just like, what about the devil's side? Like, what's up? Like, what happens to these people? And I mean, it was the first time the thought had crossed me, but just because of how she died, like she just disappeared. Like it was very traumatic, like to watch. Like she just disappeared. Like her clothes were just on the ground. And I think it's triggering for me. That's triggering for me because of Dragon Ball Z. When Cell killed all the people, like when Cell killed all the people, and then they like
when he was sucking their life force out.
And
that was actually traumatic. I was young when that.
Wait, you cut out.
Really scary to me.
You were young when it happened.
He was really scary to me as a kid.
He was scary.
Like he the way he was sucking these people's life force out, and we saw them slowly turn to like skeletons and then nothing. And the music behind him, and the sound of his feet,
and the lighting that they did, and then they came to the town, and it was nothing but clothes everywhere. Like that city street, and it was just like clothes everywhere, and Cell had like sucked up everybody. I feel like that's why that triggered me. That triggered me. Like just the
good callback.
like, you know, like, oh my God, Cell traumatized me. So that was really traumatic for me to see. Like, and she didn't die like screaming or like, I don't know. It was just really haunting. It was
so sad.
It was haunting.
Yeah, I like that better. It was haunting. It was still sad, especially Aki's reaction to it.
Yeah. What about
him finally using the needle?
Yeah, it's like, okay, so I remember like visually, like verbally saying that some of these anime be making you think at 3 a.m. for sure. Yeah, them memories. But I said, okay, I remember verbally saying this because I was going to record myself watching it because I was like, okay, should I be scared? Because you was like, yeah, we should watch it together. So I was just like, what Aki got going on? That's what I said. That was literally what I said because I'm like, okay, your little Shomaru demon man puppy whatever wasn't doing it. Then he started doing this other thing. I said, what Aki got going on? Is this another demon? Is what? Is my mic doing anything?
Hello?
Okay.
The whole screen just froze for a second.
Oh, okay. I was like, is my mic doing that thing? No, but when he did it, I was like, what? Does he have pacts with is this another devil? You can tell me that. You gotta tell me.
You can have contracts with multiple devils.
Okay.
But you also got to take in consideration what you're giving up to have these contracts.
Okay.
So every time he uses the fox demon or the fox devil, he's giving up a large portion of some part of his body, whether it's skin, an organ, or whatever. I think his deal with that devil is specifically skin. And so his contract with the cursed devil, which is the devil that lives in his sword or his nail, that one he has to sacrifice, I think, half of his life to use, or a good portion of his life force to use it. So that's why Himeno was like, you are not using this before, when it came to the Eternity Devil. But Himeno stop him in this instance, and you saw him use it immediately. I was like, oh, so the stakes have been dropped, and he's immediately.
I do like the quickness in which Aki takes action. I know sometimes watching shonen, they like to give you this long soliloquies and inner monologues, and that's one thing I like about seinen and more mature anime is I don't need that. Just show me.
They cut to it.
Just show me that the stakes are high. Show me that he has reasoned that this is necessary. Like, show me, not tell. I don't want to hear like this exposition about this is this and this is how powerful it is, and because I save it for me, and I get because of the age group of what.
Oh no!
I was gonna say
you are hitting it on the head.
Yeah, I get because of the age group in shonen, because shonen is technically for children, that they don't have those higher thinking complexities, right? So it's appropriate to the age of the audience that you're catering to. So I get that there's a place for it in shonen because, you know, if I'm 10 or 12, I'm just watching this shit and I'm not thinking about all that, right? I'm just looking at the fights. So I get to some degree it's necessary, but it's also kind of off-putting for me. I distinctly remember watching the episode with Ginryu Sai fighting Yuvak or whatever, and he's just going into it. He's just giving monologue. And I'm just like, girl, can we just see it? Can we just see it? Can I just see it?
That is very true. I didn't have as much of a problem with it until I talked to you and you was like, if your whole thing is him not being able to steal your Bankai because he don't know what's going on.
And then you just proceed. He said it's giving Shakespeare. It's giving Shakespeare. And then at the same time, there's places for that. So for me, it's like, I get it's a shonen thing. So it's a nitpicky thing. But I definitely love seeing Aki just switch. Like, I just liked not knowing what was going on. But just seeing, like, Aki just being like, oh, bitch, okay. And I really didn't know what was going on. I was like, is this, who talking? Because it was counting, and I was like, who's counting? Whose voice is this? I was just like, is this her demon? Is this his demon? Like,
that's his.
Yeah, I didn't know who And even that moment when the guy was like, "Oh, I slept on him. I didn't take him serious. I underestimated him." And then he did something, and I was like, "Power!" Like, I can't see nothing. I don't know what happened. I just really enjoyed feeling the same way that the characters were feeling, like as they were experiencing it. I loved it.
Immersion. Putting you in the shoes, fully putting you in that situation. Like, yeah, we're not gonna give you. You're gonna have to figure this out while we.
Yeah, like the ghost demon saying, "Find somebody else to do it." It always made me think of that TikTok sound. Get somebody else to do it. It was like, no.
When she said ghost, she said, no, thank you. I don't know. She's crazy. No, thank you. And I didn't even think she was going to do it after she said, "I'll give you all of me."
Yeah, but did she say that?
She was still going to be like, yeah.
She did say,
"I'll
give you
all of me if you give me all of you." So that's them, because they sacrifice portions of themselves to access these people's powers. So anytime you see any of these people utilizing these ghosts or these demons, these devils, they are only using a fraction of the power. Like, you know, the fox, a devil that Aki has a contract with, the other guy in his group has that same contract, but depending on how much the fox likes you, it lets you use different portions of. So only the people that the fox devil thinks is attractive, that's who she lets control the head, which is the strongest part. You know, other people got contracts with its paw or its tail or its other
she said,
leg or
"Okay,
something."
Aki, you fine. I'll let you get the head. I'll let you get the head in." See, that's sexual.
Remember how the booty hole demon thought that Denji was cute?
The booty hole demon. I'm just never. Are humans that tasty? I guess they are. She got a human king. Yeah. Just because I just came off of watching Interview with the Vampire, I think it's not lost upon me how tasty humans are for mythical creatures, I guess. It's like humans are just irresistible for some reason, I guess, if they really like you. So, I mean, but they are devils. I think just knowing devil, them picking the name devil, just kind of does a lot of background information for you. Like, we don't deal with the devil, all that stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of just that way. It's got to be something in it for them to even do it. But
this just made me flashback. Remember, we were talking about this was a couple episodes ago, back when we were talking about like episode 2 or 3 of Chainsawman. And I was like, that I loved how we were seeing more and more of, like, seeing more of the ensemble cast come play. And you're like, "I think we met everybody, right?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I think we met everybody." But in the trailer, there's more people in that theater. Did you picked up on them people?
I don't know, like in the intro where like they're in the theater. With how many people? I guess it feels like
and popcorn.
I feel like in my head there's like 6 people there. Is there more?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 people that we've already been to, but there's also like 4 or 5 other people.
Oh wow!
In the theater that we are also gonna meet.
Oh wow!
I was like, oh. Like, looking at them, I thought they were maybe just random creations, but no, these are characters about to come into play. But I cannot wait till they do, though. But
that's kind of scary.
Where I'm like, damn, these intros really be throwing these spoilers out here like it ain't no.
But I guess if you don't have no context, I mean, for me, I didn't even pay no. It goes by so fast, and I do remember seeing the main.
Usually it does.
People, that I'm just so excited for Chainsaw Man. I can't wait to see. I'm kind of scared now because you having that little moment. I'm legitimately scared now.
Oh yeah, I did cry just a few minutes ago.
No, like I'm legitimately scared about what I'm gonna see.
When I tell you, it's gonna. There's a couple of moments too, and this is a collection of feelings that brought this one moment to fruition. But when I tell you, I cannot wait to see how this and seeing them elongate stuff like waking up or getting home drunk when they really are out here animating powerful emotional moments. I am not ready.
Just knowing that you're gonna like get extra too, like you're gonna be getting more than you gotten from reading the manga is kind of like should be exciting too. To just kind of see like what they're gonna add in there.
I already know I'm gonna have a headache from crying. Like it's gonna be Anohana levels of sobbing.
Oh no! Don't say that.
I said it.
I'm not ready.
Feel it.
Because I don't.
I did want to ask you though before this ended if you did give any theories that I can debunk. Do you want me to do that? Because there's one theory that we talked about that I now know will not come to fruition. And do you want to know that or no?
Is the Snail thing Is it pertinent or not? We talked
know?
about that Snail. Yeah. I feel like the answer is yes.
That's a big ass mislead.
Okay, I'm glad.
A lot of spoilers. There's a lot of spoilers in the intro, but there is nothing about that damn snail.
I don't think the snail is gonna. I don't think the snail is gonna come up. Like, my interpretation of the snail is not that it's literally gonna happen, but something about the story of that creature is related to her story. Not directly, but like, because that snail, when you eat it, like, it kind of takes over. It kind of like, I don't know. It's like a way of possessing the creature that it gets ingested by to some degree. And so, like, I don't believe the snail is in the story at all. But I think that snail is like symbolic to something related to Makima. So that was kind of like my interpretation of it.
The only thing I'll say about that is that the snail won't pop up. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, okay, the snail won't pop up. But I know a spoiler. You know I know a spoiler.
Yeah, I know you know a spoiler. And
but I have no context for it.
The idea of that could fall into the spoiler that I know that you know.
Yeah. I hope so, because I have no context for it. And so if it doesn't fall into that...
It's a stretch. It's a reach. I'll say that. Like, I honestly... Snail thing was just to make
look cool
for a snail.
It's like a cool thing. I don't know, like, I'm kind of scared.
Like, knowing how it ends and how it turns out, I'm like, I really don't see a connection to this other than
besides besides the like concrete connection, besides the concrete connection that there is there. I don't know, but me not having context for this spoiler I saw, which I'm still mad at, like, how I saw this, because I'm like, is this already animated and somebody has it? How? Like,
so are we go? Do you want to just do a little 30-second spoiler warning? And
let's just do, because I think Amoxicillin, if they're still here, has read the manga clearly.
Okay.
So spoiler alert. I saw a GIF of Denji eating Makima, basically. He was like in an apartment sitting down, and it looked like he was eating like steak. And now the GIF alone wasn't a spoiler, which is what makes me pissed off about it. Cause like, I see this GIF because I'm looking for aesthetic. I think I like aesthetic Chainsaw Man GIFs. So, Twitter is just like, oh, look, you like this? It came up, and I was like, what episode was this? Like, for me, I'm like, I don't remember this episode. So then, of course, I started looking at the comments, because I'm like, what episode is this? And then somebody said the spoiler in the comment. So that's how I figured out that's what was going on. But I'm just like, how am I seeing this right now?
Okay, so for y'all that if you still here somehow, you didn't make it enough to cut the screen off, I'm gonna say spoiler warning. I'm gonna give you 5 seconds, and then I'm gonna wrap up what she said again.
All right.
Spoiler in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He was downing on Makima in several different dishes.
That's what I'm. That's what they were talking about. It was like they were like this, because they were kind of hinting at it was like this was just one of them. Like, he was definitely enjoying this. Like, I don't know. I'm so confused.
That's why I was like, I can see the I guess the reach in that moment in the intro where she's feeding him the snail. Like, maybe she's just feeding him in general. She's feeding him,
right?
Like, she literally is feeding.
Yeah,
but it just seems like such a stretch. Like, why do this psychedelic, crazy alien-looking snail? I just didn't, like, I feel like that.
Well, I think the only way, which I'm okay with knowing this, I think the only way that I feel like you could say it's the reach is if there was no benefit to him doing it. That's just a yes or no. Was there some benefit to him doing it? Yes or no?
To him eating Makima?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There was?
At 1,000,000% there was a benefit to eating her.
Okay, so then that's...
Yeah.
Okay. But, okay. But I kind of want to know, I want to know another spoiler. Okay, one more thing. Did she want him to do it?
No. Ooh, yes. Ooh. But that leads into another spoiler.
I know. I just want to know. That's a yes or no. That's a yes or no.
But who is... Okay, let me ask a follow-up question. You said, did she want him to... Who is him?
Does she want... Like, is she pro-consume meat in general, like if necessary, like is she
has said the words. She has longed for someone to eat her.
Okay,
but it's not Denji.
Okay, that's cool. So this is like a
Like what I'm trying to say is Denji and Chainsaw Man are two different people.
Okay. That's okay. I get it.
I think that's all I want to say on that.
Okay.
Because I still want you to be gagged by some stuff, but yeah,
I do want to, but then that's what to me. That's what means it makes that okay. You saying that I'm like, yeah. So the snail makes sense to me.
She doesn't want to get eaten by Denji, but she wants to get eaten by Chainsaw. Then Denji's the one that's eating her. So take that of it what you will.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, well, what girl? How was he gonna do that? Because he got chainsaw for a face. And he don't have a mouth, do he? He don't have a mouth. Anyway, but also
that's all I'm gonna say on that topic.
No, but I was gonna say, but if that's the case, then that snail makes sense. Symbolically, it makes sense because of why that snail wants you to eat them. That snail in real life, like it makes itself, like it wants the birds to eat. It is eaten by birds. It wants the birds to eat it so that it can take root.
Feeding the snail to Denji in the intro.
Yeah, so I'm looking at her as the snail, like symbolically. So like she's
Makima is
the snail. Like symbolically, she's the snail. Like I don't think in the show the snail comes in at all. Like I never thought the snail was going to be a plot point, but I think symbolically, she is feeding him through her. She's okay. This is my like English major brain working, right? This is like you spent too much time in college breaking down writings of authors. But symbolically, it's showing you that what she's telling him and the connection, that sexual connection that she's creating with him, that you're my pet connection, I'm feeding you words and affection, is me manipulating you to consume me because that's what I want.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I mean. That's my breakdown of what the snail meant.
Break it down.
Yeah. So that's
with that verbiage, I fully agree and concede.
Okay,
you've linked it together with me.
All right, yeah, that's just spending too much time like reading in college, I think, and being like in English creative writing classes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. Like I'm kind of like, but now you saying he
so good.
Now you saying he cooked her up in different ways, like made a little cute little stir fry.
He made a stir fry. He made fried her. He turned her into ramen. Ooh. He did steak cutlet. He'd make like pork cutlet bowls. There's a refrigerator reveal, and there's just to-go boxes, like glass.
Not tapping into his inner. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna see how I feel about it when it come up. Do they ever explain the teeth?
No, they don't.
Because he had the teeth before he was. A lot of people got these teeth.
They never explain it.
Maybe it's just a stylistic thing. Yeah, a parasitic worm that invades a snail's eye stalks, where it pulsates to imitate a caterpillar. This is known as aggressive mimicry, an organism pretending to be another to lure prey to get itself eaten. The worm then mind controls its host out into the open for hungry birds to pluck its eyes out. The worm breathes in the bird's guts, releasing its eggs in the bird's feces, which are happily eaten up by another snail to complete the whole bizarre life cycle again. So that's snail. That's that snail that is in the opening of Chainsaw Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amoxicillin, have you still here?
I don't know. Amoxicillin hadn't said anything, but that's what Two Chopsticks was telling us last time.
How did you get that 2 chopsticks? Did you just Google that?
That's Google, yeah.
That is really good. That is really that describes a lot that's gonna happen.
That's what I was saying. Like that's why we were talking about that little snail, and like I saw that on TikTok, I think, when they were talking about this snail. Like And that's the kind of spoilers I can get behind. They were like, look, y'all, look at this Snail. Like, because they were just kind of like, oh my God, this is why I love Chainsaw Man. And they were like having a fangirl moment about it. And they didn't tell the spoiler. They were just talking about the actual worm. And I was like, okay, if I take this, how does this apply? So that's the kind of spoilers I like.
Description of that.
Yeah.
This is like, I'm not saying that these words are going to pop up. Like the idea of this concept is definitely, yeah. I'm going to just say yes.
These writers be, look, after I watched, I think before I saw Attack on Titan, my anime watch, I've watched some deep anime and they're great, but like just seeing how much some of these writers put into the story, like the little details they put in, I think Attack on Titan is one of the first ones where I really like appreciated that. And so like after this kind of feels like it's up there for me. Like when I look back on this, I'm going to kind of have that same, like this is a masterpiece, I hope I have that feeling. Because I remember Attack on Titan making me, like that Arthur was really thinking like a lot. Like when you look at this Attack on Titan story, how circular it is, you're like, damn. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is going to have that.
There's going to be some good at the end of part 1, because spoiler alert, there's a part 2, which is I am head over heel excited about. Oh my God, I'm just starting to read part 2 now. Okay. And I'm so excited. I will never give anything about part 2 away at all. So don't even ask me.
You're making me want to read it. I'm not even a manga reader, but I might have to read it.
I wouldn't be mad at you. It's a good read. And I tell you, it keeps you flipping them pages or clicking the next arrow.
I gotta decide. Because I do want to have that view. I like not knowing what's going to happen, but I also want to have that viewer experience of like, oh, that's different. I like how they did this here or that.
That's the thing. You these first times, these shocks, these like when Makima got her head blown off and it's trust me, it's powerful when you flip the page and all of a sudden you see this image and all of its unedited glory. Because keep in mind, like there's parts of these shows that they're just not doing to the manga, and that is an aspect why I see people say they like the manga more, because that scene where he used the nail for the first time, there's a scene I think there's just a lot of...
Did they split the person in half?
I believe, that's what I was saying earlier. I believe it was a lot more gruesome.
Because it just seemed like they were in position to be like ripped in half, and they just didn't do it.
They just flashed to him on the ground.
Which, I'm
actually about to pull that manga part up right now, actually.
But I kind of appreciate editing it down, understanding that the impact of something being visually animated is different. Like, I kind of appreciate that. Like, some stuff visually, like seeing a still shot is different than watching it happen, and I, to some degree, appreciate that.
Another thing, okay, we are back in spoiler territory. I don't think we ever left. But about that initial gun devil attack where Aki's house got blown to smithereens. Bitch, did you know that wasn't an attack? That was him moving.
Oh, he was just walking?
He was moving. Going from point A to point B.
That's crazy to me. I'm just trying to get the scale of this devil. That's what I'm like.
You're gonna get the scale. There's this.
I just kind of like knowing it. I'm just like, well, when I started, I was like, I don't know what just happened. So like the scale of this devil, like I'm just curious.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all.
Okay. I have one more. I have one spoiler question. Have we seen any aspect of the gun devil thus far in the anime?
In the anime?
Yeah, like has the gun devil done anything in the anime outside of the flashback? Yeah.
I mean, we see the little pieces that are left off his body when.
Yeah, but like actively doing anything?
No.
Damn. Okay.
No.
All right.
Mm-mm.
Damn.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm confused. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's just like so random. Like, even the attacks feel random because you're like, there's like this plot going on, and you're like, why did he just came up in here and shot them? Like, for what?
It's gonna be a minute before everything clicks. To tell you this right now, there's a couple arcs that go by before we really get answers. So don't look for it now. I'm just telling you, just go on the ride. Just go on the ride and accept the things as they happen because it's gonna click. But even when it did click, I was still like, well, then explain this. But we'll get to there eventually when we get to it. And I can't wait till we do. But there are some
No, I want to hear what you're saying.
moments. I was just saying amazing over and over again.
Yeah, I saw you saying, I guess your mic was like, we don't need all them amazings. Just one is enough. Just like cut you out until you stop saying it.
I need to say it to make sure y'all understand how I'm coming from because I've read mangas in the past. I've binged mangas in the past. I haven't binged. I think the last thing I binged like this was Solo Leveling. And I think I liked this more than I like Solo Leveling.
Ooh, I mean, this is a good contender. Like, this is just great. I can see why I had the hype. So once again, I would say I think Chainsaw Man deserved all the hype that we've seen from the readers who've read it. I think all the hype was warranted. Out of the two shows I'm watching episodically, Bleach and this one, I mean, Bleach is good. I'm not gonna hold it. It's shonen. It really can't be compared to a seinen with these kind of themes, but I don't know. I guess
that's what I'm saying. Bleach is my House of the Dragons, and Chainsaw Man is fully my Interview with a Vampire.
That's a good comparison.